And I heard a voice from heaven again speaking to me and saying, Go and take the book that is open from the hand of the angel who standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went to the angel, saying unto him that he should give me the book. And he said to me, Take the book and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but in thy mouth it shall be sweet as honey. And I took the book from the hand of the angel and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And when I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
Welcome to Analog Catholic.
Oh,
My
thanks.
name. Oh, sorry, I was pausing.
We don't ever discuss that. So I never know if the pause is you want me to say something or you
No,
just have like
it's
a brain fart
it's
and
part of the
then,
rhythm. I had a music
oh,
director that used to say the silence is part of the music.
I, you know, yeah. That's like when I had my poetry teacher tell me that line breaks are part of the poem, and then you got to use your line breaks appropriately. And
Yeah.
he was kind of right though. I actually got to give that to him. He was right.
So what's your name?
I'm Rob, by the way.
I
Not
think I
sure
said
if
my
you knew
name,
that.
but
Yeah, you did.
all right.
I think.
Welcome to our podcast. We already said that. Today, what are we talking about, Rob?
Oof, who knows? We're talking about Lent 2, and it's a sequel to Lent 1. Um, and I have, we said this, and then I have some thoughts that are unrelated to Lent, but I just want to like get off my chest. But maybe I'll say that for later. Maybe I'll wait to see if we get dead air, and then I'll just kind of fill it in with random stuff that I have in my mind.
Did
But
you kill somebody? Or
no, no, don't worry about that. I wanted to start by talking about this is not what the things I was referencing. Uh, the act of like discipline and suffering within Lent. Because I think when we talked about Lent last episode, I'll be honest, man, I forgot what we talked about last.
Dude, I listen to it every day.
Dude, of course you do.
Between podcasts, I
That's where all
listen.
our views come from. It's just you listening to it on repeat.
Yeah.
I I was trying to figure out what we talked about without re-listening to the episode, and all I remember is I mentioned that I got a flip phone. So I'll start with that. I have a flip phone. I did get a flip phone. I didn't have it at the time of that episode recording. And it's been 4 days of Lent so far. I guess 3 full days. We're recording this day 4 of Lent. Saturday after Ash Wednesday is what they technically call it. And it's like fine. I've certainly have been inconvenienced, but I think I haven't been inconvenienced because I've had a lot of work to do these past few days, and so my regular iPhone, which I'm treating as sort of my work phone, has it also been with me a lot these past few days. So I just haven't been inconvenienced by not having the iPhone. I have gotten better at leaving the iPhone, like putting the iPhone down somewhere in my house when I get home and not really like hunting it down or carrying it with me or just like picking up to check on it all the time. So that's already seen some fruitfulness. And like also because of that, I've been more focused on like the good things to do at the home when I get to the home. So doing some chores that have been falling behind, giving extra attention to my family, like these good things. Not like I was neglecting anything before, but now I can just like do that, not feel exhausted from doing work all day and doing that, and then also have free time to do things like reading and some writing, um, which has been nice to do. Yeah, it's been interesting to see something that like interiorly I knew, which is like I'm just wasting time on my phone. I'm just wasting my life away on it, and then to like just spend a few days not doom scrolling or like looking up stuff all the time or watching videos on it and being like, wow, actually I do have plenty of time in a day to get all the other things done that I wanted to do, while still like sufficiently being there for my family and getting chores done around the house. So it's like it's like, yeah, maybe we do just need to like get rid of social media entirely or smartphones entirely. Um, so yeah, someone did, a priest that we both know, who's doing Exodus Lent with us. He made a comment last night at our fraternity meeting that I was doing the easy way out by just doing a flip phone as opposed to trying to moderate the smartphone. Um, which I see the argument in that, but I think when you do something like that, it's just I don't know. It's not like I need to monitor. Well, yeah, I guess you could say I need to monitor my smartphone, but there's also just a sense of like I want the aesthetics of a flip phone. I like being able to flip open and slam close my phone when I'm answering and declining a call is just crazy. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I don't know. There's an aesthetic to it. I don't know. But
I think,
I wanted the flip phone for the sake of a flip phone. And that's all.
yeah, I think there's a point to that, but it's also like you could say the same thing about like fast, like not eating, deciding you're not going to eat dessert for your health,
Right.
right? It's like you're taking the easy way out. You know, instead of trying to eat some dessert, it's like, well, like yes, but also isn't it just better to not like,
Yeah.
like it's just a bad thing, and so it's better to just not have it. And like the way you're doing it of having like a work phone and a personal phone, like that's probably the best way to do it because you're not neglecting anything that you need, like any good things that you need to have, which is
Right.
like communication for your job. Um, you're just like saying no to the terrible things. I saw a commentary this week from somebody um, on the interwebs, and they were saying they were frustrated with not us, but like people that look at kind of like the pre-digital world
Yeah.
and are like, this is how it should be, or like this is how, yeah, like this is how these things should the world should be, and we should start to live without smartphones and without this and without that. And saying that like those people are just living in the past and they're not like dealing with the reality of the technology that we need for our lives. And so they're not helping the commentary on how to live a good Catholic life because they're not talking about moderation. They're talking about just like denying things that people need to live their lives, which I thought that was interesting. Kind of a similar point of like, we need to try to find moderation, but at the same time, like I just said, like there are ways you can just say no to things. Like there are things we don't need. Like we don't need social media. Like I don't think people need to be on social media. Like I don't understand. Like I'm not. I mean, beyond the analog Catholic Instagram that I update every time we post something, like I'm not on social media, and like I don't see why that's a necessary part of people's lives.
Yeah.
Um, so I think maybe that's part of this. This guy's coming at like I'm not on social media separately. On social media, my wife is in like a mom's Facebook group, and she was saying she was reading a post about like if you're breastfeeding and like you obviously don't want to like fast more than you should,
Yeah.
right, for the health of the baby.
The
And
health of
people
the
were like, oh,
mom
what do you,
too.
yeah, health of
But
the mom
yeah, they
too,
go
right?
shout
But
out people that don't know this. When women breastfeed, it burns a ton of calories and they get like super dehydrated and hungry.
right, and it prioritizes the baby's health, like your
Right.
body prioritizes the baby's health over the mom's health, right? So um yeah. So, and people were like, what do you do instead? And some lady was like, I give up social media on Fridays. And my wife and I were talking about this. And it was like, that's crazy. Like, that's significant to you that, like, just on Fridays, I'm going to give up social media.
Yeah.
Like, that's similar to, like, not eating meat. That's insane. Like, that's how much of a role social media plays in your life. That's crazy to me. Not to, like, just be mean to this person, but I think that's like, people think social media is necessary for their livelihood or like for them to live a life, and it's just not. And I think it's one of those things, and we've talked about this before, not to just like because all we talk about is social media and flip phones. But like once you're out of it, like you realize how stupid it is. Like once you're out of the social media world and you're like not consuming social media every day, you're like, oh, I don't need social media. And I think the same thing goes for like a lot of other technologies. Yeah. And I think it is good to cut the things out of your life. I think this priest is wrong, and I will tell him in person when I see him later. Um, but yeah, I think it's just I think there are ways we need to say no as a Catholic culture to the secular culture
Yeah.
when we can. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I like the social media thing. So let me get some clarification. Were they saying that for Lent, instead of not eating meat on Fridays, they're just not doing social media? Or just like the
Something
normal Friday penance we're supposed to be doing, like outside of Lent?
I'm not sure exactly what they were saying, but
Okay.
as we discussed, yes, the church requires you to fast
Yes.
your meat on Fridays during Lent.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yes. Even pregnant and nursing women have to abstain from meat on Fridays and Lent.
right.
But you don't have to fast. So, you ladies out there, you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding, you're okay.
Yeah, let us know if you're pregnant in the comments.
Yeah, drop a comment. How many? Because we'll add that to our listener account because your baby's also listening to it. So
Yeah,
that'll really help us with our
yeah, we'll be able to manually adjust the numbers in the back end.
our logistics so we know what we're doing. Uh yeah, the whole point of like being disciplined in the fasts, it's it reminds me of a quote from The Imitation of Christ where Thomas Kempis says, like you have to do violence against yourself. Which of course if you're like don't have the vocabulary of someone a little bit more spiritually mature, like you could easily misinterpret that to mean, like whipping yourself or some crazy stuff like that. But it's like that's really what this discipline is in these Lenten fasts. It's like it's violence against ourselves. We're doing Exodus Lent, so Wednesdays and Friday. I mean, Ash Wednesday, but Wednesdays and Fridays for the whole Lent is abstinence from meat and fasting. And it wasn't the end of the world for me to do that, Wednesday and Friday, but I was really feeling it um, Wednesday night because I had my meal for as breakfast, which I don't normally do. Normally, when I fast, I have my one meal be dinner, but I had to be breakfast. And when you just kind of go through the day working, running around doing errands, like all this kind of stuff, like go, 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 and then you get home and you're done, it's like, oh wow, yeah, like I could really use something to eat right now. To just burn through all that I already ate. Whereas alternatively, it's like you get that little like reward at the end of the day, like a little treat. And so that was like a big thing, a big fight for me internally was no food, no snacking. Like you had your meal. Um, and so yesterday, which was Friday after Ash Wednesday, there was a fresh fish fry at our parish. I've never been to a fish fry before, but took the fam to go. So this time I had it at dinner, and I was like, that's so much easier than breakfast only. So next Wednesday, I'm probably gonna do breakfast only and try to just try to push that out. Fight through that one. I don't know though, but it's just making me think of like I woke up today and I feel good. I feel better than I have in a while, and I know it's related to like actually fasting, and I know it's related to some of these disciplines I'm doing, like dedication to the gym, short cold showers. Um, and I hate that because it just proves that I've been wasting my time not doing these disciplines already and not being more disciplined in my life already and like all the fruit and benefits that come from these disciplines. So it's just like a matter of, like the virtue of fortitude, like sticking it out. When I first did Exodus, like the very first time I ever did Exodus 90, which was several years ago at this point, the like fruit that I took from that, I don't know if the fruit I took from that, I don't know if fruit's the right word. The habit that I really built up from that was I stopped snacking. And that was huge. I lost like a bunch of weight just by not snacking. And it like blows my mind, wow, how many like extra empty calories were I just putting into my body just by snacking, subconsciously or just grab food. Um, and I think I maintained cold showers for a hot minute on that one too, but then I stopped that one. Uh, but it's just like that's sort of the point of this is to like build these healthy habits that just make you, I don't know, better. It's not supposed to be like a health program. It can easily get misconstrued to be that. Some people like to take Lent as their time to start a new diet. That's not the point. It's a benefit for sure. We are mind, we are body, we are soul, we are all those things combined. That is who we are. So to say that we can just not care about the body is silly, or that to kind of like poo-poo the idea that these Lenten practices are also beneficial to the body is not good. But it shouldn't be the core motivation.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
think too, like kind of off of that point, like yeah, like having a healthy body is part of having a healthy life, right? So like I think yeah, I get it. Like we don't want to like turn this into like a vanity project, like the idea of Lent, but like yeah, like having good discipline for your physical health is like holy. Like that's a holy thing to do. And so obviously again, you want it to sort of come about for the right reasons. You don't want it to come about out of pride, but I think yeah, there's nothing wrong with being like, yeah, I lost weight, you know, that I didn't need because I like lived a healthy lifestyle. Like that's yeah, like God wants that for us. Obviously he wants it to happen for the right reasons. He wants other transformations to happen in our heart. But yeah, I think that a lot of people kind of in the Catholic commentary space, like they're afraid to make those connections between like dieting and fasting. And
yeah,
it is different. Like it's a different mindset. It's a different type of thing. But um it's yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying like being a healthy weight is holy. Again, there's a lot of stipulations and kind of exceptions on that statement, but like it's good. Like it's good. It means you're taking care of your body and it's a good thing. That's what God wants us to do.
yeah, yeah. I think it's one of those things where you have to understand that holding yourself to good standards and like healthy standards is completely okay and not at all opposed to the Catholic faith. Like there doesn't need to be this level of defensiveness with it. I think that's something I've noticed on social media in particular is there's this like allergic reaction to being held to standards. I think I've said this before. It's definitely one of the bigger things that's annoying about Catholic social media. And especially if you get into the realm of like physical fitness or well-being, just like any kind of well-being, and you're like, you should be in shape. Like it's good for not just yourself, but also like if you for your vocation, like even if you're, especially if you're married and you're a parent and you have children that dependents on you. But even if you're not, even if you're just a religious member or a priest, like you have people that are dependent on you. You have obligations to these people, and like living healthily is an act of justice towards them as much as it is towards your own self. And so I think that we need to, yeah, really get over the fact that it's not it's not a condemnation of someone to point out that it's good to be healthy and if that person's not healthy. Like if I say, hey, it's good to be physically fit, it's good to yada yada yada. It's not a combination of those that aren't. It's not saying like when if you're not, you're like you're less than human or like you're going to hell. Like that's a ridiculous thing that is not really technically implied in the reading. Like if I wrote that sentence out, it's good to be healthy, and you took from it and there's like a question that says like, what is this sentence saying? And you wrote out, this is saying that unhealthy people are less than human, you would fail reading comprehension. Like you would get this big fat zero and you would be like, go back to remedial English. Um, and that's like a huge thing that we need to like really kind of get over as well is just simply making a statement of fact or like a statement of observation with no other commentary does not imply any other commentary. It just says what it is.
But
Um,
that's also like that's a social media thing, you know?
right, and
Like I think in the real
that's what I was gonna
world
get to, is that's a
when you
huge
encounter
social media
people,
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
But
they're less like that in the real world. But
and I don't know if the cause of this on social media is just because everyone is just like under attack on social media. I think that's the big thing too. You can literally just take a break from social media for a day. Like anyone that's like, I don't care what your Lenten fast is. If you have, if you're still on social media right now, just don't do it for a day. Just one day, don't do social media. You will go back to social media the next day after just one day, and you'll think, why am I doing this? This is terrible. Because you realize once you get out of it, it's all designed to aggravate you because that's what keeps you coming. That's what keeps you going. Is it just gets you all riled up. So yeah, I do think that's a huge social media issue. It's obviously it's like much different in person, but it also depends on who you're talking to in person.
And
So
I think that that comes from a place of like, okay, like you're going to the gym and taking photos of yourself at the gym, which is a little weird, but like, yeah, you're going to the gym and you're taking care of your body. Somebody on social media, there's always going to be at least, one person, but it seems like potentially a majority based on your commentary would be like, oh, this person is doing this out of pride or vanity.
yeah,
And it's just, we can't, like, why would we assume that? Like, there's so many other things in sort of the Catholic world. I mean, yes, to take a photo of something and put it on social media, I think there's some level of like pride in that act. But people that live their whole lives on social media, like, I think it's different. Or like somebody that's just like sharing something they're excited about. I think it can be different. But again, it's like there's so many things in the world that we just don't make that assumption about. Like people just try to do good things. We don't assume it's because you're prideful. Like, oh, I went to work today and did my job. It's like, oh, you must have done that out of pride. And it's like, no, that was just, that's what I should do. It's good for me. It's good for my family. It's good for my future. Right. Like the same thing about like going to the gym. Again, I think there is, I guess, some like kind of connotation if you're taking a photo of yourself shirtless at the gym and
yeah,
posting on social media. But like I think there's a way that one can go to the gym and share that they've gone to the gym. And it's just like, this is something good for me that I did. And I'm excited that I did it. And I want to like let you know that I'm excited about my life, right? Like yeah. And like that's something that people do, right? Like they share things that they're excited about and they're especially when they're like pursuing goodness, right? That's good to like share. This is what pursuit of goodness looks like for me, and I'm excited about it, and I'm happy with it. Um, I think it's just people. I think there's like a self consciousness, and again, people kind of assume the worst reasons for things.
mhm,
Um, yeah, kind of like I was thinking this week of not to like get into this, but like the traditional Catholic world, right? Like the rad trads, as they say, like people will critique kind of traditional Catholics and be like, you're just think you're better than other types of Catholics. And it's like, no, I think it's just they are excited about their faith and this is a way to live it out and they commit to it and they do it,
yeah,
it looks more traditional than, the Peter Paul Mary kind of churches. But like that's not like to say they're doing it out of pride, right? Like it's to make that assumption is crazy to say, oh, you're doing it out of pride versus to say, oh, this person is just in love with their faith, in love with Jesus, and
mhm,
they're excited to live it out in this way. Like again, like there's just so many things that we assume in that direction. Like it's just weird. It's weird that there's certain things that are. I think it's because people feel like they're being judged, like you're saying. They assume it as an accusation.
yeah,
Um, but that is just kind of a crazy direction to go with it based on what seems like a normal thing, just going to mass or going to the gym.
yeah, yeah. I I think in the context of like the discipline and suffering again, this is kind of like and like kind of going on. Well, maybe not, okay, put that on the side, but kind of going off of what you just said when we're talking about. It also reminds me of when it's like every time Lent comes up, there's this sense of oh, don't share. Like if you share what you're doing for Lent, you're like already being not humble. You're already like being braggadocious about what you're doing for Lent. I think that's not entirely true. I think some people are certainly motivated by that. But there's like a spiritual benefit to like having a community, and having community means like sharing your life. So there are definitely certain things that should remain interior. Especially maybe some prayer things, personal things, whatever. like what are you doing for Lent to me is such like a normal thing to just ask someone about. Um, because you're curious. Also, part of my curiosity when I ask someone sometimes is to make sure that I don't put them in a situation where they like are so okay. So the context is the first time I actually like took Lent seriously was my junior year in college when I was like just coming back to the faith, and I knew that one of the Focus missionaries really loved these fries at this restaurant we would go to for trivia like once a week, and we were there. It was a Tuesday, it's Tuesdays, and it was we were there, and I ordered fries just for him. I was trying to be nice to him. I ordered fries just for him. And was like, here you go, dude. And he kept saying no. He's like, I'm all right, I'm all right. But he wasn't like he was just being like, no, that's okay. And I thought he was just being nice. And I'm like, no, dude, I bought these for you. And then finally, after like 10 times, he says, I gave up fries for Lent because he loved them so much. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I never would have tried to push these on you if I knew that. And of course, you could have this like counter argument of like, well, that was actually efficacious for his prayer because he was forced to say no to the temptation multiple times. Okay, whatever. But I again, like I just felt bad because like, why am I putting this guy in this situation? Like, I never would have done that. I never would have if I just knew that was like what he was doing. And so for me, there's also like this like motivation to make sure I don't want to say offend, but like I don't like push onto someone something they have to say no to. Um, which again, maybe it actually is better for them to be pushed on to make them actually stick to their disciplines. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I think obviously you and I know what we're doing because and everyone else knows what we're doing because we've admitted that we're doing Exodus Lent. But um, yeah, I don't know. I always just thought it's like like you could just fun thing to share with someone, and like that's sort of it. Like I don't, like I don't know why there would be a stigma in sharing what you're doing. Maybe if you like go out of your way to wave a flag and say, "Oh yeah, I'm here doing this," like look at me. But yeah,
Yeah, I think yeah, I generally agree. Just yeah, there's so many other. It's like the same thing. It's like we just kind of apply a double standard because there's other things in life that we do in order to pursue goodness that we talk about. I think people will point to like our Lord's words about like going in your room and praying and like don't letting people know you fast. And I think there's something to that. Like I think I think in general like avoid complaining publicly about your fasts.
yeah.
Because like I think that's yeah similar thing of like the idea that the of like looking whatever the phrasing is, but like looking like you're tired because you're fasting. Um, it's like well yeah like that's like trying to like still live a life and not draw attention to it, but like yeah like a part of the Christian life is living in community and sharing um and like yeah building other people up and supporting other people, and so yeah part of that is yeah like sharing what's going on in your prayer life and your fasting life and your almsgiving life, you know, to the degrees in which it's appropriate. Yeah so I'm all for that as well. Again, it's you know in the context of the relationships, but yeah I think it is kind of an interesting stigma, and I think people kind of get hung up on the idea of like you shouldn't seem like you're fasting or whatever. But yeah, like people can be weird about it. And it's like it's all right. Like it's not wrong to say it. Um, yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Do we have anything else? I guess we're kind of early in Lent right now for a Lent episode, but we just wanted to play the algorithm right now. So
Yeah,
you can get mad at us for that. This coming Saturday, if you're listening to this the day this dropped, or within the next few days after the day this drops, Saturday the 28th, we're doing our second night stream. So keep an eye out for that. We'll send out an email blast via Substack and our socials, which we definitely use often. And it'll probably be 8 or 9 p.m. on Saturday. You know, it'll go for a couple hours. We had massive technical difficulties to start last time, but I think we're gonna have those overcome uh, with this night stream. But there'll be a lot we're gonna be talking about. on that night stream. It kind of goes crazy. It goes all over the place, like most of our episodes, but we have even less of a structure to follow. So that will be on our YouTube. Our YouTube is also Analog Catholic, so check that out. Subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, anything else, Ben?
I think that's it. It'll also be on Substack. So if there's lots of ways to get our content, but everything that we do is on analogcatholic.com on our Substack.
Hmm,
So if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe there at the very least. But then we're also on podcasting platforms and YouTube as well.
nice. All right.
Thank you for joining us today on our show. As always, my name is Ben,
And I'm Rob,
and this has been
Analog Catholic.